Hello internets, TheMadCEHMist here, and I'm in pain. Deep physical pain. And it's because of this. The fact that this movie is in existence really bothers me. And if you've read my blog, you already know why. This piece of xoxo is an absolute desecration of the classic tale. Alexandre Dumas is rolling in his grave. Well...
all for one, and one for all! And I just happen to have a song about this! All for one! All for one and one for all! Musketeers sing! All for one and one for all!
I'm inspired to dance.
Okay, he's been rolling in his grave a lot, but this one really bothers me. I mean, at least some of those other movies, though bad and campy like this one, had parts that were really enjoyable, like this one. Charlie Sheen is lovably slutty, and Tim Curry, how can you not love Tim Curry? And this one, they fight on freaking ladders! I mean, it's so gloriously over the top, there's no way anyone cannot at least snicker at it. That's not to say that there isn't anything good in the 2011 version. It's just that there are so many things about it that they're just so wrong that it ruins whatever could be redeemable about it. I know I've already covered a lot of this in my blog, but there are a few things that I didn't get to cover. Was writing a review, not a book, after all. And darn it, I just can't let this thing go without properly bashing it. So here are the top 5 fatal flaws that I found with the 2011 adaptation of The Three Musketeers. Number 5, the special effects. Okay, overall, the special effects aren't really that bad, but they are a little tired and overused. They're just mediocre. What's probably the most distracting aspect of the special effects and CGI is that it's just so obviously made for 3D, with shots like this.
Well, we don't have all night.
Without the actual 3D, they just look awkward and lazy. Like, really awkward and lazy. I think the 3D shot, you know what I'm talking about. It's become a bit of a cliche. Please, people, let it die. It's not a good cliche to begin with. There's also the awful way that the big three and Milady are introduced, with Wild West title cards.
Catching you.
Actually, I think I've seen those recently. Oh, yeah. But you see, the difference is that it fits in one and looks awkward and campy in the other. Try to guess which is which. And the absolutely awful water effects used in the opening scene in Italy. It's just goofy. In hindsight, I guess I should have added scientific inaccuracies to the list, but oh well. Number 4, casting and characters. Now, I know I've already said that there are some casting choices that I really enjoyed. That's why this is so low down on the list. It would be lower if it wasn't for... We'll get to him later. Like I said in the blog, I really liked who they got to play the big three. Aramis was cool and charming and sexy. Porthos was bright and funny and tough. And Athos is brooding, knowledgeable, and skilled. And I absolutely adore all three of these actors. They could have done better, but for what they had, I think they were okay. Another problem is it's just okay. However, I really enjoyed Mads Mikkelsen as Rochefort. Sorry if I'm not saying that right. He brought this level of cool confidence that I really enjoyed in this character. It made him a cool and likable villain. I actually found myself cheering for him. For several reasons.
Ah, you got me!
So good. But I digress. Mikkelsen just made Rochefort so cool. Nothing phases this man. I mean, look at him go! He's fighting on the roof of Notre Dame, and he's just soaring. Even when he dies, it doesn't faze him. Sure, it's kinda goofy, and not exactly the best direction since it makes him seem a little like...
Let's get back to the command deck.
I'm shot.
Yeah, him. But it's still kind of awesome, too. And personally, I find Christoph Waltz overacts and can be a little hammy. But as the slimy Cardinal Richelieu, it works. Like I said in the blog, it reminds me of Charlton Heston as Cardinal Richelieu, and that has some nostalgic quality that I kind of enjoyed. Now, here's where the list of good actors ends. It's not like there's anything wrong with the rest of the cast, per se.
It was an off day.
I mean, Gabriella Wilde was fine as Constance, though her character was incredibly unnecessary. That's not really her fault. And Juno Temple as Queen Anne was okay too. In fact, her performance reminded me of Geraldine Chaplin from the 1973 adaptation, though slightly duller and less developed than the 1973 version. But, no, that's the problem. A lot of the supporting cast is just okay, which is really disappointing considering a lot of them are really interesting in other adaptations and in the original story. And to be honest, even the actors that I named that I really liked, they're just okay too. They could have been a lot better. But for all the well-done casting choices and mediocre acting, there are a lot of problems. The main one being...
Look out of the window.
Lerman. I despise this smarmy little asshole. Just look at his face! How can you look at that face and not want to just punch it? I apologize to all Lerman fans, but I just can't stand this kid. There's something about the way he carries himself that reminds me of another smarmy little pea brain that has a huge hate-dom. Yeah, that's right. I just compared Logan Lerman to Justin Bieber.